it's like they did all this to make it fit, but then they didn't really do anything to make it fit, and it just feels out of place and silly, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
I give it 10 bouncing. No, not 10.
10.
No.
Yay! What a twist!
Is there somebody out there that rated this a 10? Let us know why.
Yeah.
What if you found a portal to a parallel universe? What if you could slide into 1,000 different worlds? Where it's the same year, and you're the same person, but everything else is different. And what if you can't find your way home?
Hello, Sliders fans, and welcome back to Fandom Entanglement. We're here with another review of Sliders, and we are at Season 3, Episode 20 in air date order, but Episode 16 in production order, The Last of Eden. I am Mike Bloxam, and I'm here with my co-host, Damon Sugameli.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Damon, and we're happy to welcome back Stacie Wilcox to the show.
Hi.
Hey, Stacie.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us for this episode.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure what happened is I said, put me wherever you need me.
Yeah.
And this is where we landed.
That's accurate. Not as nearly as bad as, well, I shouldn't say nearly. Not as bad as the last one, but pretty close, I think.
Pretty close.
Pretty close. But you said at least it's not snakes. Stacie's not doing snakes.
That was my only thing. I said not anything but that. So,
right.
So thank you for finding me something else.
Yeah, no problem. So what you've been up to, Stacie? I know it hasn't been that long, but what have you been up to?
Hasn't been, has it?
Nah.
Just doing our thing over at Korman Productions. We've got all of our new TV happening right now. We've got From, Sullivan's Crossing, a new show called You're Killing Me for Acorn TV. So we are very, very busy over there covering current TV. And then I'm doing Lifeboat with Albie for the Quantum Leap podcast. We're covering Timeless, so that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Lots going on.
Yeah. Well, sounds good. I'm glad you could join us for this. Hopefully we have enough to say. I don't know. We've got some things to say about it. I definitely had some rants at the beginning. So, all right, let's just, I guess, get into it with our rundown, Mike.
Well, let's get ranting. So this episode originally aired March 28, 1997, although it was originally supposed to air February 7th, before Arturo's departure from the show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So since he's in this episode, obviously, that wouldn't make any sense. But
we wanted to keep it in this is the air order it was supposed to go in. We've been keeping it that way, so I still think it made more sense to do it like this. So
yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
So, from the DVDs, the description of this episode is Wade and Rembrandt recall their slide to a world plagued by earthquakes and populated by primitive people. Wade falls into a deep chasm, and Quinn goes to rescue her, while Rembrandt learns of Arturo's illness. This episode has our regular cast of Jerry O'Connell as Quinn, Sabrina Lloyd as Wade, Clavant Derricks as Rembrandt, and John Rhys-Davies as Arturo. And only 2 credited guest stars in this episode. We have Ron Melendez as Brock, and I noted that he was in a 2015 episode of NCIS New Orleans and a 2011 episode of NCIS, and he has about 60 other credits on IMDb. And the other guest star is Don Jeffcoat. I hope I'm saying that right.
Probably.
He played Keegan. And he was also in 2004 an episode each of JAG and NCIS, and 47 other credits on IMDb at the time of my research.
Yeah, a lot of
Uh,
these guest stars have been on NCIS. Like,
yeah,
then again,
I've noticed that.
then again, like, I think everybody's on NCIS. It's kind of like one of those things, right?
By now, it seems like everyone has been, with probably 50 seasons between all the spin-offs.
Yeah. Is this? I feel like the least amount of guest stars we've had in an episode.
I think so. I feel like it is, yeah, because everyone else kind of just jumped around and made gurgly noises.
Yeah, they made it feel like there was more people in this episode, right? But then I guess nobody actually has any dialogue.
Right. Yeah. Because I had it in the notes that they're uncredited, but all the underground people are Cirque du Soleil performers apparently, which I kind of saw as they're moving around. I'm like, oh yeah, that definitely feels very Cirque du Soleil ish.
Yeah, that made sense after the fact. I didn't know that before watching it.
Oh yeah. That's on earthprime.com, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this episode written by Josef Anderson and directed by Allan Eastman. And according to earthprime.com, the worlds visited are Forest World, where they currently are, where Wade and Rembrandt are recalling this particular slide, and the Wells-Niven world. And Damon, you've got some description about what that means.
Right. Well, because I never really put it together. I guess because this tells you how literate I am with my reading. I'm up to date on my reading. I have never read like The Time Machine or Ringworld, but apparently it's the plot is stealing, borrowing concepts from The Time Machine by H.G. Wells and Ringworld by Larry Niven. So Wells-Niven. That's what they all came up with in the reviews for this. So apparently they put those concepts together, but didn't really do much with them beyond that, because it's just this weird hybrid, like Sliders often does, where it's like doesn't really make any sense. So that's where we are with that. So Stacie, you go first.
Yeah, give us your first impression.
Okay, yeah. So I remember, when we're going over the episodes, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I can talk about that. Hadn't watched in a long time. It was way worse than I remembered it being. Like, every single line of dialogue, I'm like, what are you even talking about right now? What is going on? None of this makes sense. None of it, none of the little random bits and pieces come together to form an actual, story. I really tried stripping away. I'm like, okay, let's ignore the bad dialogue and the clunky acting and the bits and pieces that don't fall together. And I'm like, there's something here, maybe. There's some kind of idea of a story that doesn't seem like it got past the outline point. But somehow it made it to air, which is really weird. I don't know how much of that is just because they framed it as a flashback. Did that make it weird? Or did that help it? I don't know. But I really feel like when they didn't fit it in, when they wanted to fit it in, I don't think they fixed it by making it a flashback. I think they should have just 86'd this and moved on, because it's just weird from no matter what angle you look at this episode from. It doesn't fit.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned the flashback aspect. I just realized now they didn't ever return to that. They didn't wrap it up at the end with
That's right. They didn't.
It was just tagged onto the start, and that's it. And
right.
Ran with the rest of the episode.
Well, yeah, I had it at the beginning, but they very hastily filmed it because it was delayed, and we have to film something because we have to explain to people why suddenly John Rhys-Davies is in the show when we got rid of him. It's just confusing people. I remember watching that too. It's like, what is this? I mean, do you want to go next with your? I can go next with my first impressions if you want.
Sure. What you go next? Yeah.
Yeah. My immediate. So I'm watching this. I'm doing my watch of this. I never really remember this episode ever. It's just it's always forgettable in my mind, other than other than what happens between Rembrandt and Arturo. Outside of that, I always have to remind myself, what the hell is this episode about again? But I was watching this 2 minutes in. I'm immediately thinking to myself, this is effing stupid. And I'll explain why. Just I literally, that was literally the 4 words I said. This is fucking stupid. Anyway, Mike, you go.
Yeah. I guess my first thought was we have another unfortunate episode to review here. I agree with you, Damon. The only actually good scene was the drama arising between Rembrandt learning of Arturo's illness or terminal diagnosis, I guess. I just kept thinking initially that the underground dwellers reminded me of the monsters from the 1984 movie Chud. I don't know if you've seen it. It's pretty awful.
No.
Might be better than this episode, but
what does it
but
stand
Chud
for?
stands for Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers.
Wow.
Basically,
That
they're yeah. Except, well, we don't know that these folks are cannibals, but
they're literally eating the people that fall through. So yes.
were they? Were they though?
It wasn't clear in the beginning. Toward the end, because Amada kind of watched part of this with me. She almost joined us on this, but she felt like she didn't have enough to talk about. But she was like, "Are they eating these people?" She's like, "Because she can't handle that either. She doesn't like zombies." I'm like, "Well, this isn't
the underground people
this
were
isn't
eating
zombies."
the people who fell through. They very clearly were literally eating one of them.
Okay.
And
Really?
they were worried about eating dinner. And then, to make it worse, the people above ground made this random off comment that they hunt the underground ones for food.
Yes.
So they're all eating each other.
Okay.
Well, that's at the start of the episode. They were hunting the guy, right? The underground person who got away.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say was it was irritating me that they kept referring to these beings as creatures or monsters, when it's obvious that they are intelligent, even if they are mutated humans. Now, I didn't catch the part where they were eating the non-mutated humans, but I thought they just wanted the baby to raise as their own maternal
I don't think they
instincts,
wanted to
etc.
eat the baby, but they
No,
were
no.
definitely eating the corpses.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe they're just scavengers.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
We don't know. We don't know why or how these people exist, what they're doing underground, why they've been separated from the other humans on this planet. There's so much potential here in this story. I really wanted to know also about the other 2 nearby planets that and how did these underdwellers become to be? Is it connected? Is it just the earthquakes? Instead, we just get way too much action sequence of the monsters jumping around, and basically, as I said to Damon, it felt like sewer mutants trying to abduct a baby is 80% of the plot.
Yeah. I think that's our title right there.
Yeah.
Sewer mutants and a baby.
So, alternate histories. Damon and Stacie, you both got some comments here, so let's hear it.
Well, you did. I mean, you said that too. You like, what's with the? So we basically are 3 Earths and a moon, because we see in the sky 2 Earths, and then the moon. So we have 3 planets and the moon in close proximity to each other, which makes no sense whatsoever. So I don't even know what this is. We've gone beyond alternate history to like an alternate cluster of planets. Like, I don't know what this is.
Right.
What is this? I don't know.
Our whole premise is it's the same Earth, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's where we're supposed to be. It's the same Earth. We're just in a world where things happened differently, where humans made different choices. But there's no choice that any human could have made that would have, like, just made planets align differently or whatever.
I don't know what. It felt like we're on a different planet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. What else do you have, Stacie, is that we're
Well,
talking about the
I mean, I was
Janiers?
just trying to work out the timeline of this
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
because it doesn't make sense to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the way I put it together, we've got the engineers. So the planets aligned once before. All of this stuff happened before,
Mhm.
Earth shaking, whatever. So they decided to build a new level of the planet, or
Mhm.
at least of this valley. So we have the old, like the original city down below, and then where they live above, and they did all this stuff: magic water, magic food, organic glow sticks, because that makes sense. And then they all died, right? That's what we're being told. Like, that was a long time ago. They died. And then we had all the adults, the elders, and they left the valley to go see what was outside the valley because everything's shaking again, but they never came back. So everyone we have here are young adults that were kids 10 years ago when the elders left. So they left all their kids alone, like the teenagers and the kids, and that's who's here now. And they all have like no education. They don't know anything outside of this. They've got their own kids now, and that's our whole culture, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But where it really falls apart for me is when we're underground, we see there's a sign about the building of the structure, and it says 1972. So are they suggesting that all of this happened in 25 years?
Yeah.
That's where I
guess.
can't wrap my head around
Yeah.
what story they're trying to tell, because we're acting like these are like ancient god figures, right? The Janiers.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
they don't even know that Janier stands for engineer, and they don't know what science is, and they don't know that this stuff was made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That can't happen in 25 years that you
No.
forget all of that.
Yeah.
And then the creatures underground have mutated so much, and no matter what age they are, they have no language, no context of anything. Like, that doesn't happen in one generation.
Mhm.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
it feels like they're saying this is something that happened like hundreds of years ago, but it happened in 1972.
Yeah, that detail just completely went over my head because it did feel like this is something that happened a very long time ago, but
Yeah.
yeah, the 1972 thing. I don't know. This doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make
So
sense.
when we're, just talking about alternate histories, that's where I'm at. Was just trying to like, okay, what happened here?
Right.
And none of the things fit together. They don't.
It's an alternate history. Who cares?
Yeah.
That's where we are right now.
The only thing the only way I could rectify it is like there's also some time dilation. And what they
Perhaps.
called 1972 was 100 or 200 years ago for them.
Perhaps.
But that feels like I'm really stretching to get there without
you
them
are.
implying that at all.
I think you reach. Probably. All right. Well, okay. So as I said before, they did hastily shoot this scene to frame this as a flashback because this aired 2 episodes after Arturo's death. So it still kind of works because they didn't specifically say what happened to Arturo. They just said, "Oh, I'm remembering when the professor was with us," because I was like double checking, like they don't say that, right? They don't. So it still kind of works. She could still be having a nightmare, I suppose, right? Just thinking about like what happened. So
Mhm.
I
Yep.
guess. All right. But here's so I'm gonna do my rant right now. 'Cause this is what I'm saying. So first of all, so Quinn somehow deduces like within 10 seconds of arriving, this is some technologically backward civilization because they see some people having a picnic, right? And they have spears. So, oh, well, at least they're at least human, which I don't know where you would think they're not human, right? But okay, fine, right? But they're sitting around and they decide, oh yeah, is Arturo saying you think they have room for 4 more or something like?
Yeah.
Oh, and they're just
He was
looking
hungry.
like let's join this civilization. This is like the equivalent of the Federation coming in to a pre-warp drive civilization. Like, screw the Prime Directive. Like, these people are going to wonder who the F you people are. Nah, who cares? Let's just go in and just have a party with these people. Like, you're going to interfere with their natural evolution or whatever. Like, whatever happened to not getting involved? I don't. That was my biggest. This is why 10 minutes in, I'm like, this is stupid. They're smarter than this. I mean, really.
Yeah, as soon as they walk into the clearing and he goes, oh, they don't have guns. They must be primitive. Do you see a lot of guns at barbecues? Like, why do they have guns? They don't have guns.
Yeah.
Because they're not holding a gun at the barbecue, they must not have guns in the whole world.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
It's just, it was such clunky dialogue.
Yeah.
I was like, this is weird.
Like, you had to explain it to us because there's nothing we're seeing immediately that tells us that, oh, this is the situation we're in. We have to get the dialogue to tell us. It's like, that's bad writing right there.
Yep.
And then, of course, that earthquake just conveniently happens right at that exact time. And Wade stands there like an idiot waiting to fall in this pit. And then Quinn is yelling at them afterwards, like, why won't you help? Like, come on, do something. You know, it's like they're telling you we don't disturb the earth. There are apparently rules that they understand that you don't, Quinn, but you're just like, what's wrong with you people? Like, don't you realize by now? Like, come on. Did that all happen like right in the teaser, or did we get the credits yet at this point, or was that right after the credits?
I thought the credits started after they were trying to hunt the underground person. Then we didn't.
Okay.
I think the slide happened after the credits.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. It just
doesn't really matter, but still.
I know, but it's just like that was like that's not a good way to start this episode off. It's just like this was my first thought right away. It's like, this is dumb. But you want to say more?
That earthquake scene was awful. Like the people who live here aren't used to it and would know maybe to get to safety.
Right.
Instead, the woman with the baby just stands there, just like Wade, and just stupidly waits for 10 seconds instead of running away from this crevice that's opening up in the earth. Like, would you not move? But and then, of course, later we see her laying on an I-beam, looking completely unhurt.
Right.
And yet the mother of the baby fell to her doom. And that's what leads into the rest of the episode.
And so many other people. How many corpses do we see throughout the episode?
Yeah.
Like, this seems to keep happening. People keep falling into the earth and dying.
Yeah.
So why is Wade okay?
Yeah.
She could have at least, like, sprained an ankle or something.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. It's not convincing at all that she walked away without so much as a scratch.
Right. There should have been some kind of story wrapped around of why she didn't get hurt. Maybe she fell on just something really soft or something. I don't know. But they're like, no, she fell hundreds of feet. Like, that was really deep, right?
Yeah.
We're going to see over and over through the episode how deep down this is. There's no reason she should have landed on metal and been fine.
Yeah.
Main character, so it has to be fine. And they're down there when the earthquake's happening, and I rewound it because I was making sure I saw it right. I'm like, I noticed that the rock was falling in front of her and it bounced like a foam rock. Like, I actually I know you've noticed in the past too, but like I noticed it too. Like, man, I noticed it quite a few times in this episode actually, like where everything just like there's no budget left at all.
Yeah. Yeah, though the foam rocks in Desert Storm were pretty bad. I didn't notice them this time around.
I'm pretty sure it was the first time because I rewound it. I was like, it was like rock, and it looked like it kind of bounced like right in front of her. It was like the first big rock. I'm like, it wasn't a big one, but it was like, I don't know, like that big or something. But still.
Yeah, they don't bounce like that.
Yeah. It just fell way too easily, and and then we said it before. They found out the engineers. Like, okay, engineers. I got it. That's what that's supposed to be. Engineers.
Yeah. That was not very well disguised.
Yeah.
Not much imagination there.
Mhm.
And then when that name came up is when he was telling them about the sun stalks, right? They sure just looked like giant glow sticks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was watching that too. I was like, it's like, yeah. I wasn't, again, I was not following everything, but I did see that, and it was some point where was it? I don't know if it was Quinn or somebody kind of taking off something, and then I'm noticing, and I'm like, yeah, that's a glow stick. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. Like, Jesus Christ.
Okay, so at this point, Quinn ends up getting cut, right? They catch him, they cut him down.
Uh-huh.
So he's down there with Wade now.
Mhm.
Rembrandt and Arturo get basically taken prisoner and put in a room.
Right. Okay.
But
Mhm.
and this is where they're talking about, like, oh, the elders. This is where we learned that, like, all of their older people left them, and I forget which one's the bad guy here, the one that's not helpful. He was like,
Yeah,
oh,
whatever.
the elders left us, so we don't care what they have to say. It's like, but shouldn't you care what they have to say? Your whole thing is you guys are alone. They never
Mhm.
came back.
Uh-huh.
Now suddenly these people are here from outside the valley. You would think that once you've imprisoned these people, you'd be interrogating them and actually trying to get information from them
Right.
about what is outside this valley. And he's just like, I don't want to talk to them. Why would we want to talk to them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd
If you
you
don't want
come
to talk to
from?
them, what are you imprisoning them
Yeah.
for?
Yeah. Where'd you come from? Why are you so intent on circumventing our rules? Like, something we don't. Like, yeah. It just, yeah. It didn't make any sense.
None of it made any sense,
Yeah.
really.
No,
But that's the
including
setup, right? Is we split our group into two little subgroups throughout the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, like something else that didn't make sense after they're in this room, Arturo's condition accelerates extremely quickly.
Mhm.
You see his arms getting really red, and then suddenly, like, it bursts out into thorns or something.
Yeah.
And then Rembrandt comes over to look, like, between the time it was just kind of red and blotchy, and then he says, "Oh!" And then Remy comes over, and they're all of a sudden thorns. It's like, in under half a second, that transformation happened.
Mhm.
I don't know if
Full
that.
on thorns, and he's like, they're growing out of my skin, because they had pricked themselves on this rose bush at the beginning.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
happened right
And
at the
I'm just
beginning.
like,
Mhm.
why? Are you turning into a rose bush? What's happening here? Why are there literally thorns growing out of your body?
Yeah. And I don't know if that is a goof or just bad writing, directing, show running. At this point, it's it's really hard to distinguish a goof from just bad continuity.
I mean,
Or laziness.
it took a lot of
Yeah.
intention to make that, to actually build that in makeup.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, Brock explains that he got sick quicker than Rembrandt for other reasons,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
maybe being ill recently, but that
Yeah.
doesn't explain that instantaneous change
Right.
between blotches to thorns.
And
Yeah.
like, what would have happened if they didn't get the magic water? What was this leading towards?
Yeah, yeah, good question.
I don't have it in the notes, but I will say that it was kind of funny the way Arturo was reacting to all that, and he's like, and Rembrandt's really trying to tell him, he's like, no, stop scratching, you're making it worse. He's like, come on, it's like willpower or whatever. He's like, what did Arturo? He said something. He's like, oh, I have the willpower. He's like, ah, and then he's like, right away, he's like, yeah, no, knock me out.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that was actually a pretty smart thing that he could do. Like, okay, yeah, just knock him out so that he won't scratch and like seriously,
But
like do more damage.
is a concussion any better?
But at least he wasn't scratching. And that's something that Amada said. She was watching that part and she's like, oh yeah, like knock him out. This way he stops. Yeah. So Quinn and Wade are down there, and so what is Quinn doing here where he's
Well,
now?
I don't know. Like to me, he was desecrating human remains. He's going through this. He
Yeah.
picks up the skull and looking at it, and he takes one of the bones and takes it along on his adventure. Like there's so much other debris around under here. I'm sure he could find an iron bar or something actually useful as defense, not a possibly decaying bone.
It wasn't possibly. It was very, very old corpse. Like there's nothing left but bone. So the rest is gone.
Exactly.
It's been there a long time. And he's literally giving dialogue like to us, to nobody, about the skull fractures. And he's like, you fell really far away, didn't you? Look how many fractures your skull is. Putting emphasis on the problem with Wade not getting hurt at all. He's like pointing out how bad this fall had to be.
That's true.
And then the whole talking to the camera thing gets even worse, where he's just like talking to Wade, even though he doesn't think she can hear him. He's like, I'm making footprints now so you can follow me.
Oh, I must have missed that part. I must have been, oh, okay.
It was very like,
I don't blame you.
it was very, it took you right out of it. There was no, it didn't make any sense. And it wasn't even in his character at all to act like that. Like the whole episode, but really like I said, it's almost every line of dialogue I have a problem with.
That's fair. All right. So I'll just say it right now. Magic food. That's all I'm saying. Magic food. And you guys, you can elaborate on that. One thing I remember, but like, okay.
Well, I just like, wow, it was all I could think. Just, this is the best they could come up with. First, they have magic water that prevents transformation and heals instantly. And now we have magic fruit that reads people's thoughts.
All I could think of watching that scene where he's like, oh, it is a steak. I was like, the snozberries taste like snozberries. All I could think of.
The strawberries taste like strawberries. The snozberries taste like snozberries.
Snozberries? Who ever heard of a snozberry?
And, so the engineers made this fruit, right? The same way they made organic glow sticks or whatever. So that it tastes like whatever you think it tastes like. So it's doing something with, like, power of suggestion. It's got to be some type of drug that's in it or something where whatever you were thinking about, you believe. But why? Why did they make this for the people they left behind? It doesn't make any sense, because if those people don't know what anything else tastes like, how is it making that?
Yeah.
And, like, they're not getting any nutrients other than whatever the fruit actually is.
Yeah.
So what's the point of doing whatever the heck they did to make it so that it tastes like whatever you want it to taste like?
Were they eating it, or were they just like, it almost looked like Rembrandt was like sucking it. Like, were they?
Like a lemon, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they weren't actually like chewing and swallowing it, right? They were just like, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
I wonder what that actually was.
Who cares? I don't know. I did not catch though the Willy Wonka thing like that. Like, you're right. It's so weird because my son is on this Willy Wonka kick. He's actually watching more of like the Tim Burton one, but still, it's like, oh, I did not catch that connection at all.
So aside from Ringworld and the Time Machine, now Willy Wonka's thrown into the mix of this.
Yeah, I just were they just trying to like say, oh, look how like inventive this world is? Like what was the point of this? I
think we're supposed to think the engineers were just like super advanced and could do all these really cool things.
I guess.
But again, it's like a half-formed thing. Like every part of this episode is just little bits and pieces of different things that doesn't really come together into a full story.
Yeah. Well, Mike, at least it's not the magic goo from the last episode.
Indeed.
the stuff that they I don't even want to talk about that. The worm and eating the excrement. Ugh. Hey, young. You didn't want to do that one with us, Stacie. We had a lot of fun with it, but still.
Yeah.
So yeah, to me, that is the most memorable scene in the entire episode. Because it's this heartfelt conversation between Remy and Arturo. So like Rembrandt does finally find out that Arturo has this terminal illness, because that's why he reacted so badly so quickly.
Mm.
It does make me wonder, because like you said at the beginning, Mike, where we don't follow up on this flashback because they said
Yeah.
that didn't Wade say that you never told me what happened between you and the professor above ground,
Right.
and then vice versa. So did he never tell her that? Because I would think that she'd be pretty pissed off that, so he died and you didn't tell me that he was already dying. Like, you didn't tell me this. Like,
Yeah.
That's
Huh.
the thing. After this, she's now the only one who doesn't know.
That's right.
she should know now though, because he told her. But did he tell her like after that had happened, and she just never knew the details of what happened? He just maybe said, "Oh, by the
Right.
way, he's dying," or something. I don't know, because it never came up, and you would think it would, but I don't know.
Well, I thought it was nice to have a touch of continuity there. They
Mhm.
referenced back to a few previous episodes, and we got a little bit of character development here between Rembrandt
Mhm.
finding out about it and having hurt feelings about
Yeah.
not knowing the diagnosis. So
Yeah.
that's why it's memorable, because it was the only good scene in the whole episode.
Right.
I do like the scene between them. It's a nice moment between them. But I feel like it would have been a lot more impactful if we did it a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Before he died, preferably.
Yeah.
But even, I don't know, it just feels so weird that this is such a big part of this episode. And like you said, the only part you even remember.
Yeah.
Because at this point, watching the show, you already know he's gone, and it had nothing to do with this, so it's not even relevant anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they had aired them in production order, they were literally about to turn around and kill him in a different way.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So why are they focusing on this
I
now
know.
if they're just going to throw it away
I know.
without doing anything with it?
It's a very good point. Like
It's so weird to me.
Yeah.
And I always got this impression. Tell me what you guys think. I always thought the magic water that cures everything might have actually cured his underlying illness.
Oh.
Oh.
Which makes it so terribly sad that he just dies anyways.
Maybe.
But they're like, yeah, this cures everything. And it cured their skin thing like in seconds.
Mhm.
Yes.
So if this is like the engineers, they're so great and powerful, they can do anything, they have magic properties, this water will heal any illness. So maybe it literally healed his incurable illness.
Right. If they'd been
And
smart,
maybe he would have lived.
if they'd been smart, they would have bottled as much of that as they could and brought it with them.
Right? Take some of it anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And it's like, because they literally just we talked about this in the last one. I think it was like toward the end of the last episode, they had just found out that John Rhys-Davies basically was getting fired from the show. Like so at this point, they knew he was leaving. So because like, oh yeah, the episode coming up that you wrote, we're going to kill you in it. So it which is right after this. So yeah, it is a good point. It's like, why did they bother?
Right.
They barely talked about it.
It would have been good, but it would have been better if we put it like much earlier, several episodes earlier.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Where we had some room to sit in that,
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Amada made a note when they were underground with the baby. She's like, this baby never seems to cry or wake up during all of these things going on. But then sometimes it seemed like the baby was awake, but then it wasn't. But then it was, and then it wasn't.
Well, and in some scenes, it was definitely a CPR dummy at some point, because you could see that gray plastic skin when Wade was holding it with a blanket. You could just see gray face. No eyes, no hair.
Yeah.
I feel like at the very beginning, when the mom was holding the baby, it was a very tiny newborn baby.
Yeah.
And then later, when we're actually seeing it awake and the creature's holding it, it was like a much larger child. It looked like a
Yeah.
toddler,
Yeah. Yeah, because it was sitting up and looking around, and
right?
yeah.
That tracks with this show.
So
And-
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is where they start talking about how they're hunting them for food.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, they're all humans, right? Just these
I
ones
think
have
so.
whatever mutation they have, but they're all humanoid, and they're literally both sides are eating each other. They're all cannibals.
My head hurts.
So I guess we do have chuds, but then what would the other ones be? Chads, cannibalistic humanoid, above ground
God.
dwellers.
But they don't treat them like they're humans, so
Mhm.
they don't think
No.
of themselves as cannibals. But they literally threw the line in that said, "We hunt them for food." I
Right.
feel like that line was just very
Okay.
unnecessary.
Yep.
I understand why the underground ones are eating whatever they can find to eat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But why you got your magic food? Why are you bothering eating these creatures?
Maybe when they have the magic food, they're imagining what the creatures taste like.
Yummy!
God. Oh, jeez. What else we got?
Oh, babies. We talk about babies again.
Yeah. Oh, because Wade is. Well, first of all, she also like she doesn't know what she. Apparently, she doesn't really know what she's doing because it's like I can't help the baby or whatever, and But yeah, again, she talked about having kids, and I couldn't help but think in my head, Mike, the remark that you made that I didn't want to think about, like, oh yeah, she's gonna have a ton of kids in the future, and I just
She
thought about
says
that.
she wants at least 3, a big family.
She's gonna have a lot of them in the future. God, oh, they didn't know this back then, but still, oh my
No, they
God.
didn't.
hmm we don't really mention about Quinn talking about that he used to be a babysitter.
Yeah.
Not in the notes anywhere, but we should bring it up. that he talked about the going rate that he had. What was it?
Yeah, like 75 cents for the
75
first
cents.
kid and 50
Yeah.
cents for each additional kid. Yeah.
Yeah, and discount if they bounced, right?
Or
Something like
discount if you drop them. Yeah.
Discount if you dropped them, but at least they bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even this dialogue was clunky. Like, I felt like it was a nice scene between the two of them,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just talking about what they want for themselves and families.
Yeah.
But he mentions he used to babysit, and the first thing she says is, "How much did you make?"
Mhm.
Like, that doesn't feel like natural dialogue.
Yeah,
How
we're
much did you make?
we're in
Yeah.
a little bit crisis mode right now, and you're talking about this. Yeah. He said something about sending the kids off to have them slide for 4 years, like there's a better education than a college thing or something like that. I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. And again, you're bringing this all up then. It's just like you're saying, Stacie, this is just filler dialogue that doesn't really fit in the situation they're in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's ironic that Quinn says something about having a brother or was wondering if he would have a brother someday, and we know he's gonna have a brother. They weren't thinking about that, but
Right.
Oh yeah, he was talking about like what it was like growing up as an only child,
Right,
and he
right.
didn't want that. He didn't want to have only one child because he didn't want that for them. He wanted them to have siblings, so he
Yeah,
wanted a
right.
big family.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. You mentioned something, Stacie, about the rope.
Okay, yeah. So they get out finally. Right,
Yeah.
we have this big
Yeah.
chase action scene
Mm-hmm.
that was really hard to get through, and eventually everybody gets out and we're moving on. And then, like, the last scene is, we see the creatures all climb up the rope and come and attack the bad guy, the the jerk guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like, why did you leave the rope attached? They left the rope attached. They left the grate off,
Mhm.
and like all the creatures just climb up.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew that guy was like dead too. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess he's getting. I did think that at the end too. It's like, I guess he's getting eaten. I guess.
Yeah.
Now, I guess they did have a way up, right? Because there was one above ground at the beginning that they were hunting. And if they
Right.
hunt them for food, but they never go underground, there must be a way for them to get up.
Yeah.
But this just seemed like a really easy way for them to get up, I guess. They
Yeah.
were leaving this rope here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We don't know much else, but was there ever an explanation given as to why there were constant earthquakes all the time?
I think at the start, Quinn mentioned something about the syzygy between the 3 planets
Syzygy, yeah.
possibly causing more tidal forces and
Mhm.
inducing more earthquakes, but I don't think there's any actual science behind that. I think someone just thought,
They were like, well, what does it mean that these planets are aligned this way? And he goes, well, it could mean no more than abnormal tides.
Mhm.
And I think the inference is, but what it did instead is cause these earthquakes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then they make some reference that it happened before, and that's why the engineers built the second level. Which doesn't make any sense to me, because how does that help you if the problem is the Earth is breaking apart?
Yeah.
Like, why did that help in the first place? I don't really understand, but okay.
Yeah. And also, I don't think that's what syzygy means either. But
No, it's about an alignment. Usually
not what it means.
with the sun, moon, and earth, it's like an alignment of planetary bodies, and
An example of people writing stuff that they don't know what this stuff means. They're just pulling shit out of their ass. That's what that means. Sorry, but that's what
you're gonna have to put the censor beeps on this episode, Damon.
I'm not putting it on the last one either. No, we're at a point where we kind of need it.
Yes.
So the episode resolves by the Sliders convincing these young adults that are living in this valley, that are terrified to leave the valley because the elders who abandoned them told them never leave the valley. We convinced them to leave the valley. They're like, if you stay here, the earthquakes are going to keep happening and your children are going to die. So leave the valley.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't what's happening that involves like outer space affecting the entire planet? It's not just affecting this valley, right?
You would think.
Should be.
So what is leaving this valley going to do to help?
Yeah.
And if all of the grown-ups 10 years ago left and never came back, that doesn't mean something good is out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't just choose to not come back for their kids.
Yeah.
So what are we sending them on? It doesn't feel like we're sending them to anything good or helpful. I feel like it would have been more in their style to be like, let's send you to another world at this point. You know, there's like 20 people here. Let's just send you somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
But he's like, just you have to leave the valley or you're going to die. Well, you're going to die out there too if the whole world's cracking in half or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just glad the episode's over. I don't want to watch this again.
No.
I don't think we got anything left, right? It just
no. I think we can move on to the goofs.
Goofs, yeah. Let's go ahead.
Goofs is everything we just talked about.
Yeah.
The first thing I noticed as soon as they landed and we fall into the rose bush, which is going to give us this ailment, is those were so bad fake flowers. Like they looked so bad. It was like the dollar store plastic flowers. We got up nice and close in them.
Yeah.
Why did they use such a bad fake flower for something that we're going to get that up close with? It was so silly.
God, yeah.
But it doesn't get any better from there, so.
Yeah, I know. This is, I think, like a legitimate goof that Arturo tells Rembrandt that he went to see a doctor in San Francisco, but in The Guardian, you remember Stacie, because you and Dave were with us. They had remarked when they slid onto like Van Meer's world or whatever. They said this is the first
Yeah.
time we've slid back to San Francisco since Logan messed with our timers. So he didn't see a doctor in San Francisco. It was in L.A.
Hmm.
So it's a little. I don't know if it's a little slip up or they just forgot. They probably just.
Maybe he forgot. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
he's had a day.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
Well, toward the end of the episode, Quinn says they only have an hour to slide when they're trying to escape from the underground. But at the start of the episode, they said they're there for 3 days. So it's not conceivable that all this has taken place over more than one night.
No.
Yeah, this did not feel like 3 days.
And it was not 3 days. Well, watching the episode felt like 3 days, but
Yeah. And you got one more, Stacie, or
one more goose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, okay, so if the underground's the original city, and the above ground is this fake world that the engineers built hundreds of feet above ground, I would think that the sliders would have slid into the underground city where like their normal coordinates are, not hundreds of feet up in the air where the fake city is.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, their
I
coordinates
know
do move
there's some
around.
like spatial stuff going on with where they are allowed to slide, but there is like an actual city down there still, so it's not like it would be in the middle of something.
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't even like really. Again, it just sort of shows how much I really am not paying attention to this episode at all. But like, I'm not getting that connection that this is just. I'm just thinking this is subterranean. Like, I'm not realizing that it's like a whole artificial city that they're in. Like,
Right, the engineers built that whole level above the original city.
Yeah, it's all muddled in my head. I don't care. I don't think we don't even have any lines that
No
we
memorable
remember.
lines. No, there was nothing.
Nothing that
nothing.
really anybody said that we had to remember.
Yeah. Except that Quinn made 75 cents an hour.
Yeah.
Babysitting.
Right. All right. I think we're gonna finally catch up on some feedback. We have some time.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it.
All right. I guess I'll start with the Dream Masters. Wow, it's going back far. Wow, we really have a lot. Alberto Gabriel Oliveira, he is in the Sliders TV show Facebook group. He said this was the darkest episode of the series, Dream Masters. I guess I'll continue with The Fire Within.
Sure.
Our friend Chris, digital artist, says, yes, I always thought this episode was the most cringy episode of all Sliders. 1 out of 10 classic cars with fins. And then Thomas, Sliders fan blog, because do you remember when we made the comment at the end where we're like, it's like, if you think this is the best episode ever, let us know.
Yes.
And then he said, literally the best episode ever written. Beginning to wonder if you all can make it through the entire series. Yeah.
Nice.
And then my sister Devin left a comment. She says, fun as always, gang. Thank you, Devin, for joining us on that. We had a lot of fun with her talking about it.
We did, yes.
Lantel Tox, am I saying that right? On Reddit, she says, or he or she says, season 3's writing is engulfed in flames, and soon somebody gets fired. Talking about Arturo. BattleTech70 also on Reddit said, I love Flame Boy. So cute. And our friend Pedro on Discord said, I actually don't mind this episode. Interesting ideas and some terrific visual effects in places. Again, it's just not Sliders.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we got some older episodes. So
yeah, back to season 1. We got the Weaker Sex, KC0ITF.
I don't know.
That's supposed to mean something to somebody.
Yeah, he's commented on a few. So
yeah. Okay. Oh, that's the next 3 comments.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to hear how that's pronounced.
Yeah, I don't know.
So on the weaker sex, they say, I always imagined that if Hillary Clinton had won the 2016 race, someone the next morning would have pulled the opening clip of this episode. Science fiction to reality.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And on Eggheads, they say, if the recent cast roundtable discussions about rebooting / continuing the series are to be believed, this episode is a cast favorite. Yeah, I believe it.
I think
It's a
I've heard
solid
that.
episode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And on Love Gods, they said this episode just shows how poor reproductive education is across the political spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
We got time for the one more episode, I think, and then we'll wrap it
Yeah.
up. Yeah. All right. I'll do the Prince of Slides. Chris again. Chris, digital artist, says, "Hi, Sliders fans. Thanks. Looking back, this season 3 episode isn't too bad. Once again, borrowing or at least capitalizing from other movie plots like Junior, which you said, Mike. You said it sounded like
Yep.
Junior, right? Yeah. But overall, I never cared much for it. I just didn't find it all that interesting. That said, Wade's voiceover / diary and Arturo's famous catchphrase do give it a bit of a classic Sliders vibe. Still, I rate it 5 out of 10 fencing swords." Pedro again on the Slideheads Facebook group said, "Not a bad episode, although slightly ruined by the last 5 minutes." Okay. Lantel Talks again on Reddit said, "You can say this is one of the episodes that feel more like fantasy than sci-fi, but at least in much more interesting way than Dragon Slide." Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
And lastly, Blaster Axe on Reddit said, "Rewatching the show now, not for the first time, but this episode really stood out this go around as one of the weirdest and most impractical to me. You want to tell me they wouldn't just raise the babies in labs, but men would do it? I like the idea, but the execution is weird to me. Not to mention they all wake up after having just been drugged. The cabin somehow magically survives a fire, and the professor performs surgery. Yeah, right. Not sure why this episode was well received." Yeah. We've got a lot more comments, but we will catch up at a later time on those.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm glad we got some caught up.
we're starting to catch up.
good.
Yay! All right. Final thoughts and
So,
ratings. Yeah.
final thoughts.
Yeah.
Stacie, why don't you start us off?
Okay, so if you're watching this like in air date order, the one good thing is it was nice to have the original gang back together. We lost Arturo, and we get him back for a minute.
Mhm.
Sort of, they're back together. We do split them up as soon as we get them together, but they're all in the episode.
Mhm.
So it's got a nice feel, right? Because
Uh-huh.
we're dealing with the loss of him, and now it's like, oh, we get to revisit. So that's good.
Mhm.
But it's pretty bad. All around pretty bad. If they were gonna, I don't know. I feel like they could have, even if they were gonna clean it up and make it a flashback, they could have done a better job of that. They could have
Yep.
tied in talking about losing Arturo. Like you
Mhm.
said, bring in an end scene to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Where's Quinn and Maggie? They could have been like in the end scene.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just, it's like they did all this to make it fit, but then they didn't really do anything to make it fit, and it just feels out of place and silly, no matter how you look at it.
Mhm.
I give it 10 bouncing. No, not 10.
10.
No.
Whoa! What a twist!
Is there somebody out there that rated this a 10? Let us know why.
Yeah.
I give
We
this
wanna
a
know.
2. 2 bouncing babies out of 10.
You know, I'll go next because I'm pretty much right there with you, Stacie. Yeah, the only other thing I'll say is that they mentioned this too on no, I'll mention earthprime.com because they're a great resource, and you know, just always want to plug them too. But even they said it too. This feels like a much more a much more proper send off for Arturo's character, even if the episode is not that great. It's still kind of better than what we eventually get. How he basically gets written out of the show. Outside of that, yeah, this episode is just so forgettable for me. 2 magical fruits out of 10. I'm probably being generous too, but yeah. After I gave it 0 to the last one.
Yeah.
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 trying to adjust my ratings because I'm like, I feel like there's got to be worse still.
Well, that's why I've started going to decimal points, because I couldn't quite give it a 1,
Yeah.
but I couldn't give it a 2 either. So this is
Yeah.
1.5 unexplained syzygies out of 10 for me.
Syzygies. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Stacie, for joining us on this and not saying it's like, oh yeah, screw this episode was terrible. At least you stuck with this point.
You
Thank
know,
you.
it can be fun to talk about something that's
Yeah.
terrible and
Yeah.
just, to laugh at it a little bit.
Yeah.
But as always, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, of
I
course.
appreciate the invite.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So where can everybody
And where can
find
folks
you?
find you,
Yeah.
Stacie?
You can find me on Corman Productions Deep Dive TV Podcast, which is on the Corman Productions YouTube channel.
Mhm.
And now you can also find me on Lifeboat, a timeless rewatch on the Quantum Leap Podcast Network.
Yeah. All right. So next up in production order, we do have The Exodus Part 1. Joining us for this epic two-parter. We are planning to have Albie and Chris from Trexploration joining us, hopefully for both parts, and possibly other stuff going on. Because I know, I'll say it now. If you want to give us advance, like feedback and advance comments that maybe we can read while we're, or
Ooh.
sending in stuff, maybe, like email us fandom.entanglement@gmail.com. Right? That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just
Yeah,
do
good
that,
idea.
or just leave comments in the Facebook groups or whatever. More details will come. Yeah, something. But I figured there's probably going to be a lot of people are going to want to talk about this one, so more details to come. In the meantime, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button and share your opinions on the episode in the comments. We will do a roundup of comments in future videos like we did here, and we will catch up on more of them, hopefully. If you want to share this video, please share them. And you can also visit our website at fandomentanglement.com, where you can find all of our past videos and links to our social media channels, including YouTube, Facebook, Blue Sky, and Mastodon. So until next time, I'm Damon.
And I'm Mike.
I'm Stacie.
And I don't have a good send-off.
Enjoy that magical fruit.
Enjoy the magical fruit.
Yummy.
Bye, everybody.